Hello, mortals, and welcome to another episode of Dice X Machina. This is episode 3. This is called Mask of the Oracle. I am your Myth Keeper, Dungeon Master, and hopefully your friend, Riley Silverman. And I am joined. We are sad to say that our friend Danielle Radford is feeling under the weather, so she is not with us tonight. We wish her the best of health, and hopefully she'll be back with us next week. But we do have some great friends that are here. The rest of our cast is here. Let's start us off. Let's go. I always say around the horn, even though I don't know what it looks like on the screen. So I will go to my immediate side, which is Ruben.
Hey everybody, my name's Ruben Bressler, Mox Ruby on the internet, and I am playing Claw, the Centaur Druid worshiper of Nylea.
Thank you. And we will go down to Ashlyn.
Ooh. Hey everyone, it's Ashlyn Rose, and I am playing Callista, the Leonin fighter, who is the bounty hunter of the group for a god who goes by Erebos.
And then last but not least, our friend Jordan.
Hi everybody, my name is Jordan Pridgeon, and I am playing Lysandros, who is a satyr, who is also a rogue, and he does illusions and is a gambler. He likes to gamble. He's driving up a big debt, and yeah, he has a prophecy on him, as you might have figured out from last time. And yes, that's me. And I realized I forgot to put my cool bracers on, so you'll just have to imagine them.
Darn.
I see him right
They're
there.
just enchanted
Yeah.
bracers.
I mean, yeah, exactly. They're illusions.
Theater
You know what,
of the
Jordan?
mind,
The
people.
bracers were in you all along.
Right. I've
Y'all,
not
we,
played I've not played a D&D game with Jordan where he has played a character without horns, I think.
Or bracers, actually.
Or bracers, yeah.
Y'all, our sponsor this week, as always so far in this part of the campaign, we say hello to our friends at Hero Forge, where you can get yourself some very awesome custom 3D printed miniatures, and we are super in love with their new color options that you have. I have been fortunate because I supported them in their Kickstarter, and they've sent me some really nice, awesome color minis, including a color mini of my favorite character, well, my character from our Broken Pack campaign, Velma Sweet. So that was really awesome. I've spent way too much of my time killing attention moments to go on there and build. I've built the entire Broken Pact group as well as Dom, as well as Ruben in there.
Nice.
So check those out. They make really great gifts if you have a D&D player in your life and it's a Christmas season. I don't know what their shipping situation is right now. If they'll have it printed and shipped by Christmas, but I think people will be happy to get a color mini a week after Christmas.
I can tell you that I bought them for my 6 players for my Dragon Heist home game. And estimated shipping when I bought them a week ago was 3 weeks.
Okay, that's good to
So
know.
you've probably still got time, but get on it.
Yeah, and
Get in there,
like
people.
I said, if they don't make it in time, most likely you're doing Christmas remotely anyway. So just send someone a screenshot of the awesome mini you've got, and they'll know it's on the way. So that's delightful. We also want to thank, of course, the viewers like you who help make this show very possible. We actually, those of y'all who tuned in last week, know that we actually had a pretty awesome, very unique episode, and it was all because a viewer donated a very impressive Mallet Master. We'll go ahead and say thanks to Mallet Master for that. Donated essentially paid for last week's plot. So that was really awesome. We've already had a very generous tip tonight from Soul Reaper. So thank you so much for that.
Soul Reaper.
Yeah, way to start things off. Soul Reaper.
Yeah, and we will kick off as well. If y'all who were in the stream right now, go ahead and look at the unlock rewards that you might find for tonight's game. You'll know there's some pretty awesome special things. And in fact, with that donation that we got, so we are currently at we are reroll for every player. So that's 3 for you and 1 for me. So each of you gets 1. And we also are currently at rerolls given from subscriber unlocks. Our friend Simi David has given 1 to me and 1 to the players. So there is a 4th player one and a 2nd DM one.
Fabulous.
That's fun.
Forgot to pull my dice tray out, actually.
Oh, yeah. Get those dice out. You can't
Who
play
needs
these
dice, though?
Yeah, who needs dice? Who rolls dice?
Machina. Because all right. And then Yeah, so there are some really awesome unlocks. We have some that will encourage really fun role play between our characters tonight. We have a couple of special things that the characters themselves will get to play with if we do. And one of the unlocks is a special stinger scene that I will play out at the end of the episode that reveals a secret about the world that our players and our characters and our players do not know about yet. In fact, no one knows about it because I'm the only one writing this game. So once
exciting.
Yeah.
Are you sure you know about it?
Right. I don't
okay.
until it's unlocked. If it's not unlocked, it hasn't happened. So,
right.
And we also have a special unlock if we get 25 new subs tonight. So if you have some friends that want to sub to the channel, get them on that because that will actually dictate what the story does next week. So check that out. And do I have any interesting things that the players can be privy to in tonight's unlocks? All I'll say is the players are going to have. I told them about one. There's one where that'll encourage some role play with them.
Yep.
And also a couple of interesting power ups that you essentially get. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Excellent.
Maybe we'll get to them, maybe we won't. We'll find out. Hopefully we do. We have some fun viewers. And of course, as always, we have the delightful ability to toast the show, and we have our revelries that we get. We have a couple of those already in, so we'll go ahead and kick off the show with those before we start tonight's quest. So if you are in the stream or if you're at home watching along, go ahead and raise a glass, and we will get these couple of toasts out of the way and kick our show off.
I keep forgetting to get a drink because it's Monday night and I don't think about it.
It's with your brazers. It's fine. All right. But by the way, Jordan, hydration is important even if it's not a drink, just so you know.
Right.
All right. First, we'll say to our friend that we just
week.
mentioned, our friend Soul Reaper 4208, they said, may the characters always be fierce and strong, and may Riley lead them well. Thank you very much for that.
Yay.
Thank you.
We're a fan of that. And then, of course, we have a toast from our friend Fractured Avatar 13, who says, a toast to the heroes, our heroes of legend, who are as fallible as they are powerful. Fates be with you. And also with you.
And also with you. Yes, this is the,
All right. So we are at the end, I think, of our top of the show announcements. So we will go ahead and kick on into the show. And welcome to the intrigue that is Dice Ex Machina in Theros. Where we last left our players, we all got a peek back into a little bit of their history. Our friend Dee had been abandoned by her brother Jay and left in a cell in the town of Vakros and managed to partially escape, partially talk her way out of the cell and dedicated herself to the service as essentially a fall guy gladiator in order to move herself a little bit out of the realm of prison and into the realm where she was introduced to a mysterious blacksmith who would eventually be revealed to her as her patron god of Perforos. Meanwhile, our friend Lysandros was taken back to a younger point in his time when he was the son of a lauded leader of the Satyrs of the Skull of Vale. On his father's birthday, an oracle was given a vision of a spectacular destiny held for young Lysandros, one that he ran away from. Meanwhile, our friend Callie, fresh off the departure from her family group Pride for reasons we have not yet dug too much into, was given her first conquest, her first mission, I should say, on behalf of the mysterious god of death, Erebos, and she succeeded in discovering her first return, and we assume bringing him to justice. And finally, our friend Claw, traveling with his band of centaurs, was on a hunt for some sort of unliving creature and found himself dealing with the nymphs of the dead and ultimately found himself paying with his own life. Or did he? Something happened at the moment of death for Claw where he was spared in some way by his own goddess, Nylea. What happened? What sort of deal caused Claw to return? What'll happen if our party finds out that Claw is technically a return? Not really a return, but, returned adjacent, we'll say. All will be revealed at some point on Dice Ex Machina here in Theros. But tonight, our characters have been traveling. It's been a pretty reasonable day. You left the morning, you got up there. You've been traveling from Neolanton up the road to Meletis. For those who are not as familiar with the Theros setting, and those who are not Magic the Gathering players, people who are D&D players, or people who are just tuning in to enjoy a streaming show, Meletis kind of serves as Athens in the Theros analogy. So we mentioned Akros last week as the Sparta of Theros. Meletis is the Athens, and they are heading there because Callie was instructed by her god Erebos to find a follower of Phoenix and to enlist his aid in decoding some sort of message. She's not sure what that means yet. Lysandros, not a fan of being in someone else's debt, has enlisted himself to head to Meletis in order to settle the black in his ledger and turn it back into red. Claw is kind of just along for the journey at this point, I think. What, is that a fair assumption, Claw?
Yeah, I mean, I was given a vision by my god to aid in it's sort of nebulous for me, but the impression I get is that I'm supposed to watch these kids so that they don't accidentally hurt themselves.
And that is a good assessment. And Dee, who found herself running afoul of a pretty powerful criminal boss known as the Gorgon, has been hired to escort Lysandros to Meletis, where somebody may in fact be expecting his company, which Lysandros not as aware of. But we'll see how that plays out. Maybe not tonight since Dee is not here, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The story goes. So you've been traveling all day. You awoke this morning with, let's say the unwelcome morning of an attack by some bandits, which you managed to do a pretty good job as a team effectively fighting off. The rest of the day has gone pretty relatively easily. Claw, I think you're pretty familiar with this terrain. So, once the bandits are gone, you tend to have found yourself being a little bit less stressed out by the travel.
I would have definitely, I mean, I don't want to interrupt the story, but we certainly would have spent an hour taking a short rest.
I'll let you all take a short rest benefit if you want to reconcile that with your dice. You can do that while we're getting set up.
Yes, that would be lovely.
At least one of us took some damage that fight, so I thought
just a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead, absolutely spend some hit dice. And actually, I don't think that D has Song of Rest yet, so I can't give you the Bardic hit dice addition benefit. But
I don't necessarily need the short rest for hit points, so instead I'm going to spend 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic on these bandits, just in case.
Okay, so you were taking the short rest immediately, not long after you'd already woken up.
Actually, you know what? We probably would have put some distance between ourselves and the bandits. You're right. So never mind. We'll find a nice hidden spot in the woods.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember where the short rest button is.
It should be in the upper.
It's at the top.
It's at the very top.
It's at the top by your speed.
On mobile?
I have no idea.
I'll figure it out. It'll happen.
I'm not sure you have any need for a short rest.
I get my wild shape back.
Question.
I didn't even realize.
Yes.
I use some spells. That might matter.
As a new fighter, how does Second Wind work? Do I take that during combat, or can I do that short rest and then refresh that?
Yes. Usually you do it in the midst of combat, and it's just like a free heal where you're just like, I'm tired of being hurt.
It's not unlike if you've played Assassin's Creed, the newest version where you have a bag of rations, and suddenly in the middle of combat you can take the rations and you heal yourself a little bit. Or any other video game that has a healing ability in the middle of it. Yeah.
If video games have established anything for us, it's that if you're in trouble in the middle of combat, just take out some bread and apples and stuff and just
start eating while
but you
stuff them down your gullet.
You can theoretically take a bonus action to Second Wind and then take your short rest to get your Second Wind back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
although if you did it in the middle of combat, you might have a pretty impatient enemy who's been waiting the hour for you to finish resting before you go back to fighting it.
I just hold him at sword point and be like, hold.
Yeah.
Hold.
I'm resting.
Yeah.
In fighting terms, Second Wind is kind of like if in a boxing match when like the bell rings and suddenly like Mickey throws water in your face. It's like, you got this, and then you get up and you're ready to go again.
All right.
That universal experience we all have every day in our lives.
Oh yeah.
So Callista's gonna do her like breathing exercises she's learned and to regain some life.
All right.
Real quick.
Yeah. That is a fun way to avoid spending hit dice, so I will let you have it, at least this once. while y'all are reconciling your math, that happened earlier in the day. So you're getting closer to Meletis. You're kind of getting to the point where I don't want to say suburbs because this is not that level of technology yet, but there are these small outcroppings of early town that are kind of so yeah, someone says there's a campfire icon in the upper left by your name. Click that and you can choose long or short rest. That's good for our viewers at home to know if they're using the system as well. And that's awesome. And yeah, so the sun sinks low in the west, stretching shadows across the well-traveled road, only a mile or so from the edge of Meletis. At your current rate, you, along with a loose crowd of other travelers that you've kind of run into along the road, is a bit of a, this is a pretty much area where travelers coming in or congregating into town, should reach the town outskirts just before dark. But not everybody's moving at a leisurely pace. Behind you, a horse rounds a bend in the road, galloping at top speed. The beast looks frantic, terrified, and frothing with exertion. Upon it sways a figure wearing a gold mask. Callie, your head starts to tingle. The rider barely manages to stay in the saddle, his body bristling with cruel black arrows. Blind with panic, the horse plows on, threatening to trample travelers in its path. Before it can, though, the beast's legs give way. Both the mounts and the rider topple, crashing into the dust with a piercing whinny and the sound like a snapping branches.
This happens right in front of us?
Behind you, actually. It kind of happened coming up behind you on the road.
All right, well, I'm going to turn around to wherever that tingling is. I'm going to whip my head around. Hey, I found my target found me. I found my target. I got to go.
Wait. So normally when things like that happen, people are shooting arrows, people running on horses. You don't run towards that. You go away from it because that's how you get shot by said arrows.
I mean, I can shoot it with arrows. I will use a bonus action to go back into my archer form, using a beast shape or a wild shape. I'm gonna shed bright light for 10 feet and then dim light for another 10 feet, and you see that the joints on my elbows and wrists and where my haunches are and all of that becomes a constellation, and a starry bow sort of apparates in my hands.
Excellent. By the way,
I'm just doing that to prepare.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, we just got raided by the Mercs of Mischief. So
hey, welcome.
Hello,
up, everybody.
Yes, they have joined us, so thank you very much for raiding us. And yeah, so as you do that, nothing immediately has happened. Besides the rider with the arrows in him collapsing off the horse, and he is laying still on the ground, as is the horse.
All right, so I'm gonna walk up like with my hand on my sword right now, kind of like prepared for something weird to happen, because undead are returned, whatever we want to call them. They are very unpredictable. Yeah. And I just want to be ready in case something happens.
Before we go, I'll tap Callie and guidance dexterity.
Okay.
I think is how that works, right? D4 and add it to the... I'll just guidance you.
Guidance.
You can add a D4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of your choice for the next minute.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep, no problem.
So you're approaching the rider, Callie?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and approach the rider. And you said there's people there?
There's people, like there was a crowd of people who were like heading into town like y'all were. Like it's kind of like, imagine like you're getting there and then other people are arriving, so you're kind of in this entry point. And so it's not like a line of people per se. It's a pretty busy thoroughfare.
Oh, okay.
If we were surrounded by people, I would not have gone starry form. Sorry.
Okay, I'll let you take that back.
Yeah, that's not a thing people see.
Yeah, that was in the little the blue blue blue, but that's okay. It's fine if we.
Cool.
That was nothing we do. But
you started the bloop bloop bloop. We were like, no.
Oh crap! Bunch of people. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's I will let you take that back. That's fine.
All right.
Because that was a detail that got missed. But okay, so Ashlyn, as you approach, the horse that's on the ground is not dead. The horse is. You can hear it breathing, and you can kind of hear it like breathing deeply with some very exaggerated breaths in and out, and it feels Like it's got a couple of abrasions, but without checking it further, I that's about what you'll get from seeing it. I'm not going to make you roll for the figure on the ground because you have a lot of experience with this. Yeah. You can tell immediately, and then based on the fact that your headband is tingling, you recognize immediately that this rider is a returned, but he is physically not moving at all right now.
Okay. And then for returned in general, like Callie's very experienced, but Ashlyn is not. Sure. Is there like any weird things with return? Like, do they have like, are they dangerous to be around? Are they gonna like emanate a poison typically? Like, are they okay to touch or interact with?
There's no real concern here about poison. At least this one's not. Like, you recognize, the reason why you can recognize him pretty much is because his skin is a complete grayscale, and any blood that's coming out is black, like it's almost like a tarry black. And you've also seen, because you haven't seen him, he's still wearing a gold funerary mask. Usually the returns you chase are wearing clay mask, but his is actually made of gold. And you know that underneath his mask, if you were to take it off, based on the return you've met so far, most likely he would have like a blank flesh with like his mouth would be lipped, like black lipped, and his eyes would be sunken in and missing the eyeballs. So you know that returned are not pleasant to look at.
Right.
That's why they tend to wear the masks.
Okay. All right. So, go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm gonna go over to the horse.
Okay. For sure.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the horse.
Okay.
Because I'm a servant of Nylea.
And you're like half horse, basically.
And I'm half horse, so like I get it.
Fair.
That's fair.
And hopefully, doing so will give me some more of Nylea's favor, because that's one of the things it says. It gives me whatever this thing is, whatever this point thing is.
Oh, yeah, I'm checking it.
Piety. There
Piety.
It is. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna heal the horse.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for the healing.
3 + 3, 6 hit points for the horse.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be a lot. So you see when you approach it that the horse not only was wounded, but was also just exhausted. The horse, you realize that the horse is collapsing was more from sheer exhaustion than it was necessarily the damage to it.
Oh, okay.
It does have a few minor abrasions, but those, as you cast the healing on it, do heal up, and the horse is able to stand a little bit. Okay. The sounds that you heard that sounded like snapping branches were actually the arrows that were in the body of the return that it snapped as it hit the ground. The horse does seem a little better. He still seems really, really tired, and that he looks like it's... make an animal handling check for me, Claw.
Great. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to do a lesser restoration on a horse. Natural 20 for my animal handling.
There you go.
Very good at handling animals.
You can
+3, 23.
I will say that, yeah, you can tell this horse is extremely exhausted, but that if it's also very, very dehydrated. So you know that what it needs right now is water, food, and rest. And it's a red roan mare. That's the type of horse it is, and that you definitely think that if it's given some good care, it'll be taken care of.
I will give it a good berry.
Yeah, and I will say that if you're looking around and you're checking him, he has a bridle, and on the bridle it says his name is Fotina.
Fotina?
Yeah.
We have a horse named Fotina.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna walk up.
It's the sheep.
Mare, yes.
I'm going to walk up to the returned, and I'm going to kind of like nudge it with my foot. Come on. Okay. Come on.
There is no reaction when you nudge it.
Oh, no. You just got here, friend. You can't go back so quickly. I need stuff from you. She'll start nudging it more.
There is
Come
no
on.
response.
Oh, my God. I can't do this right now. Oh, goodness.
I'll make a medicine check to see if it's playing dead. If that's okay, or should I just look around and see if there's like fog on the mask? I don't know how return work actually, so maybe it won't do anything.
I would say make a medicine check, and based on your roll, I'll tell you how well you can figure it out or not.
Well, probably not great. I'm actually very good at medicine, so 12.
With 12, I'll say that from what you can tell, it's not breathing. And it's not moving. You don't see the motions on a body that like implicate that breath is coming in or out of it. But as you said, you don't know returned well, so you're not sure if it's actually the case, or this is an undead creature, so you're not sure if you just don't know if they don't breathe or if it's actually dead.
Got it.
Now, for Callie, what does Callie know? What does she see here when she looks at this return? Would she typically be worried by seeing a return that's not moving?
I think you have hunted enough of these that you actually think that this one does seem to be dead, and it does have arrows in it, and it does have wounds. So you get the indication that someone may have actually already killed this undead, this for you.
Lysandros hops over behind Callie and it's just like, well, bum luck for this guy. I mean, to make it all the way back from, the underworld and then end up just dying again, just getting shot with arrows. You think you'd learn after the first time, right?
Yeah, seriously. Ain't that my luck? But why would someone kill a returned?
And recently? ? I mean, this return was on this horse until just now. The horse was running full speed. And I will look to where this returned on a horse came from. Is there anything like coming round the dusty trail?
It's funny that you asked that question.
Oh, okay.
Because yes, as you turn to look, you also make a perception check for me.
My number? 22.
Nice.
Yeah, you see nothing. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you definitely pick up the sound of what sounds like racing hooves, almost like thunder, rolling up a nearby hill, coming from the direction that this fallen rider had come from.
We should get out of Dodge. We should hide, maybe?
Okay, but we're bringing this returned with us. I'm not done with it.
Okay, let's drag it into the bushes. Are there bushes to drag it into?
As Claw finishes this conversation, he notices that on the suggestion of hiding, Lysandros already has made moves to be somewhere hidden.
Lysandros, make a stealth check for me.
Oh my god, this is...
That is a 18.
Pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that there is, because there's a lot of travelers coming through here, and there's like carts and there's wagons and there's things like that. I think you're able to find, probably not a cart or wagon. I think anyone who has something that can move is going to move it right now when there's a threat coming by. But I think there's like pillars and there are guideposts that are coming into the city, and you're able to get yourself behind one of those.
All right.
I like this idea. So we're going to hide and then jump them, right?
I don't know what we're going to do. Are they like who? I mean, this is a returned. If they're hunting returned, it's probably good guys hunting a bad guy. I don't know. But we're going to hide the body. That's weird. Let's rephrase that. We're going to relocate your quarry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's drag this body off.
She throws it over her shoulder.
Oh, okay. That works too. I'm going to find a horse-shaped hiding place, or a centaur-shaped hiding place. Is there like a building or an alley I can duck into?
Ruben, I'm going to make you do a stealth check at disadvantage.
Yeah, it's not my strong suit.
There's got to be some rules element to that. I mean,
that's why there's a disadvantage. Yeah,
trying to hide with a horse.
7.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you see a couple of pillars that are there, but you're really not sure if you will be able to hide yourself behind them in a way that is. I mean, You're welcome to try.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind. You know when you're like got like a 5-year-old that's hiding behind something that doesn't exactly hide all of them? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing as Claw.
Here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing you trying to stand in a way where someone who doesn't know might think that a horse is just there and not a centaur.
Yeah. I'm like leaning through a window so that only the horse part is showing.
Okay. And then Callie, what are you doing with this body? Where are you trying to go with it?
Is there anywhere like where I guess I'll put it with Claw for now? Because Callie still wants to see who this person is and talk to them at least, or like watch them.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, put him on my back.
Are you okay with that, Claude? Do you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This will be fun.
Okay. All right. While y'all are doing that, the sound of hooves comes closer and closer, and 2 more riders suddenly arrive, both wearing dark tunics, and the fading light glints upon the snarling gold masks that both of them wear. Everyone roll initiative.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, we've got returned action going on here.
Are they returned? Are those gold masks of return or gold masks of a god?
Gold masks of returned.
Yikes.
2 returned sentries arrive on horseback, carrying bows and arrows that match the arrows that you found embodied in the body of your friend.
Interesting. Okay.
Does guidance work on? No, it's been more than a minute, I'm sure.
It's been more than a minute, yeah.
All right. 11.
13.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
So, sorry, yeah. So, Callie was 11.
Claw is a 13.
And then, Lysandros, what were you? Lysandros?
21.
21. All right, D is not here. So D is vaguely there. I tend to, as a DM, to not need to like find like a reason that they are not there. They're just kind of like,
sure.
It's like the season of Saved by the Bell, where suddenly Zach, like Tori and like they're not,
yeah.
it's like they're there, now they're not there. So that's how we're doing that.
Works for me.
All right. Ashlyn, the answer is no. I don't off the top of my head have that, so we'll have to figure it out later. All right, and then let me go ahead and roll initiative for my 2 returned here. There's 2 of them, so I'm going to roll twice for them. Okay. All right. Oops. Okay. The first person in our order is actually going to be Lysandros. So what are you doing today?
Okay, as much as I do get to make the first action, I think that not really knowing what's going on or what these people are trying to do, Lysandros is going to try and hold on to his hidden. Does he feel like they've seen him?
No, I think with your stealth roll, and they also seem extremely like right now focused on they're focused on the person they were shooting, who's now sitting on the back of a centaur they can clearly see.
Okay, so Lysandros will just take his short bow out. He does have a short bow, by the way.
It's funny.
And just kind of like knock an arrow in it and kind of do the thing where he's like looking over his shoulder what they're doing and just keep an eye on what's going on. And I'm just going to basically ready. Can I just hold until? I'll just hold until.
Are you want to ready an action?
Yeah, I'll ready shooting an arrow at anybody who goes to like attack anyone on the team.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. Callie, what do you do?
Callie looks at the 2 and just thinks, wow, my quarry just got a lot bigger and better. Because instead of bringing 1 returned back, I can bring back 3 returned.
All right, but it's your turn in combat. So what are you doing as your combat move?
And then, so is Callie hidden enough, or do they see Callie?
What did you roll for your stealth?
I didn't roll.
Then you were not hidden in any way. Yeah, because you were loading. Last I checked, you were loading the returned onto the back of. So they see you doing that.
Great. Yeah. So Callie goes from loading to, she then turns to face them, and then in one swift motion, she's gonna try to grab her sword, and then like just point it at him. If I can attack in the same move, I will. But
okay.
If not,
yeah, I'll let you make an attack. I'll let you pulling your sword out be a free action. But before you were able to make an attack, you do hear one of the returns say to you in a whispered kind of just. There's a lot of raspy voice to it, and it just goes, "Get away from the heretic, breather." Yeah, very different thing to say.
Breather.
Yes, heretic breather.
Get away from the heretic.
Get away from the heretic breather.
Interesting. And they say,
"Oh, sorry, it's actually bleeder." That's why I got mixed up.
Breather also. Breather. Yeah. These are all
things that undead might call a living.
Yeah.
So I feel good with it. I feel really good with it.
And they say this in common, or
by She's a Spitfires, my friend Ashley. So thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And they say this in Theron. Thurosian?
It's set in
common?
Yeah, essentially the common language, the common.
Interesting.
Tongue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mighty bold of you to show your face here. And then I'll attack.
We're actually not. We're wearing.
Yeah, they got the masks on.
And then now you can take your attack.
All right, and so she's gonna swing, and then let's see. Okay, I might burn these dice if they continue to act as they did last week. As with we're all kindly
you have 4
suggested.
rerolls to the table right now. That
Okay.
helps. Because you got some earlier from our friend Soul Reaper. So
I'm gonna reroll that one with a different dice.
well, no, sorry. See Me David gives the reroll. Sorry.
Hey.
My name's mixed up.
Thanks, David.
Does 10 hit?
10 does not hit. However, I will remind you. Well, I guess that wouldn't matter anyway, because I would say Ruben gave you guidance, but I also think that a D4 is not going to get you to 10.
And the guidance is passed by this.
Yeah, it's definitely passed. Unless I have I forgot
we also
what
have
my signet
rerolls.
does. I don't know
we
if
do
my
rerolls.
signet.
Go ahead. And
No, I
use one
did.
of the rerolls
I
if you
used
want.
a reroll.
Oh,
already.
Okay.
Well.
Okay, yeah. So did you look up the signet? I can look it up if you want me to. I'll look it up in between your turns. But
No, yeah, you're totally good.
okay, yeah. I thought that you'd already added it to your D&D Beyond, so I hadn't kept a track of it. But you miss, so you are caught off guard. He makes that comment about bleeders, and then you go to make a swing, and you do not make him, in fact, bleed. So that is a miss. Claw, it is your turn.
So are they still on horseback?
They are still on horseback.
Great. I'm going to vine whip one of their legs and pull them off the horse.
Okay.
Reroll. Slightly better. 17.
Okay, that does hit. So I will say that you snap. So your vine kind of rips up out of the ground and gets a big old tug on one of them and pulls them off. Go ahead and roll your damage.
6 piercing.
6 piercing damage to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will pull the creature 10 feet closer to me.
Ooh.
Unless the creature is bigger than large.
No, it's a large creature. So, okay.
Oh, it's a large creature?
I mean, no, sorry, it's a regular medium-sized creature. It's a humanoid. They're humanoid in shape. They're not humanoid because they're undead, but they're humanoid in shape.
I mean, I'm just gonna whip it.
Whip it good.
Pretty good.
Whip it good.
Yeah.
And so that one, hopefully that one is not exactly doing as great now that they're off their horse.
I think we can safely say that a problem has come along and you have whipped it. So
yeah.
All right. So that is
nice.
Is there anything else that you want to do for your turn?
Lawful good.
So I've got this returned on my back, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way that with one hand I'm casting my Thorn Whip and with my other hand I'm shoving this returned into my saddlebags of holding?
I would say that would be a second action to do because it's manipulating an object.
Just checking.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to unlatch my saddlebag of holding in preparation of shoving this corpse into it.
Okay, I'll let you do that as a bonus action.
Great.
Yes.
You see me open my saddlebags, which previous to this particular instance, you thought were just regular saddlebags, but they're bigger on the inside. And so the fathomless depths of my saddlebags of holding, I think you see what the plan is. And that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Now we move on to the first return's turn, the one who just took some damage. So he's got a swing from Callie, so he's going to go back at her. He is going to go after you, Callie, with a spear that he's going to swing at you.
So does that trigger my readied action?
Yes, it does, actually. So if you want to go ahead and use, I'll let you do your attack first.
Yeah, so he goes to go with the spear, and Lysandro's just like, all right, here we go. Hello, friend. And then tries to pop him with an arrow.
Okay, and you do have advantage on this roll because you are surprised you are coming from a hidden location. Plus, he's engaged with your ally. So.
Oh boy, sneak attack damage, baby!
All right,
yeah, that's what I meant to say. Oh, we got rated again by Ink and Liar. Thank you.
Excellent.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Hey, thank you so much.
We're fighting some returned, which are undead people.
Okay.
Try to run away from death.
It's a little weird.
Does a 24 hit?
It does hit.
I better hope so.
I'm running.
Yeah. If it doesn't, I have made a bad decision as a DM.
Yeah, something has gone quite wrong. Okay, so that is short bow damage is 1d6 plus 3, and then I get 1 extra for my sneak attack damage.
Right.
So that's 11 damage.
Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty hurt. I mean, he's looking pretty much. It's hard to say that it's hard exactly to describe a returned undead creature as at death's door, but you are basically at death's door. Yeah.
Okay.
So
send them back where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
At Erebos's threshold.
Perfect. And it's, well, I mean, if they're still alive, dead alive, then they're still going to hit you, I guess. But
all right. And that is going to be so now it's back to being his turn. He's still alive and kicking. So he is going to make his swing at Callie with his spear, and he is going to swing at you. And that is a 14, which does not hit you, Callie. So you managed to be.
It does. I don't have my shield equipped, so I should be at 14.
Oh yeah, you're right. It just hits you. So
unfortunately.
Yeah, it just hits you, and unfortunately, it does 27 damage.
Oh my god!
No way.
Yeah, and yeah, it does because it's a 2d6 for the. Actually, is that right?
I hope not.
Yeah, okay,
that is so many
damage here. Oh, you know what? That's okay. No, that is a weird thing happening where Roll20 did both types of damage. So it does. It's still pretty bad because it did 8 damage of piercing, and then it did 8 poison damage to you as well.
Oh,
that's still better.
16.
I'm above 0, so we're good.
Yeah.
So
16's a high number.
I was going to say, I think my run instinct was correct on this fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So does that to you, and then the other sentry is going to fire a short bow at our buddy here, Claw.
Yeah.
And because he got pulled off of his horse.
Oh, sure did.
Sorry, his friend got pulled off a horse. He's actually still on a horse, but he saw you do it, so he's going to fire his bow at you, and he is going to go ahead and make that swing. And let me go ahead and just roll that. And that is a 15 to hit, which I believe
that hits me. That hits,
and that does 6 blood. It does 6 damage to you. It is piercing damage because it's a longbow.
6 damage taken.
Yep. All right, that is the return's turn, and now we are back to Lysandros. It's top of the order. It's your turn.
Oh boy! So Lysandros fired 1 arrow and it did okay, and now it seems like they're clearly paying attention to the other people in the party. So Lysandros is going to continue doing that and just being not the target and making them the target. So he just whips off another arrow at them.
Okay.
This is like, yes, continue to focus on them, please.
Okay, you did not hide again at the last turn, so you were no longer. This is not a sneak attack, but you will get sneak attack damage because he's engaged with your ally.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
You won't get advantage on the attack rolls. What I meant.
Yep, that is exactly as I came to understand it. All right, so that is that's an 18. Does that hit?
It does hit.
Oh yeah. Okay, so 2d6 plus 3. Ooh, that's a 14.
Yeah, so Callie, you see this returned who is already on his feet. He's already taken a little bit of damage because of what happened with the Thorn Whip. He came after you. He called you a pretty dirty name, and then suddenly you saw him get hit in the back by an arrow first, and then Lysandros takes another shot, and it splits him right in the face, and you actually see the mask that he's wearing kind of get knocked forward a bit as the arrow comes through enough to knock it off his face. And it claps to the ground. You see that very familiar glimpse of a return's face that you're very used to at this point. You probably still find it a little gross, but it's not as bad as you would normally feel it. And then he just falls forward on the ground and is motionless. And
yes, 2 for 2. I bet I can do the next one with one of my eyes closed. Let's find out. I'm giving myself 3 to 1 odds.
And that is your turn. Do you want to do anything on your bonus action?
You know what? I will hide. So I will try and duck back behind the thing I was doing.
Okay, make another stealth check for me.
That's a 20, a dirty 20.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to say that succeeds. Just the thought. So yeah, you were able to. So you're able to duck back behind that pillar, and because he is focused on your party members, it's actually a pretty easy thing to do. And just as a note, players, you have another reroll to the table for you from Break 716.
Fabulous, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
That was the rest of Lysander's turn. Callista, it is your turn now. This other return is still up on his horse, but he is coming at you and getting ready to fight you as well. He has his bow and arrow out. So.
Okay, cool. So as soon as Callista sees that returned fall, she's going to step on it, step over it on it if it's within her range. And when she does that, she's gonna let out like a and it kind of like invigorates her, and she uses it gives her a second wind.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
And that's an 11. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then she's going to lock eyes with the next one and swing at it.
Okay.
With the different dice.
Yes.
yes. D&D superstition is at its best.
that is better. Okay. Math is for attackers. 9 + 5. 14. Does a 14 hit?
14 does not hit, unfortunately. It just misses. Just so you know. Do you want to use one of your rerolls?
Well, can I action surge if I already did a bonus action?
I think action surge is a bonus action, right? So I don't think you can do 2 in one turn.
No, action surge is its own thing. It gives you
That's right.
It
just gives you another thing,
action.
Yeah.
So you can actually.
But also take the reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just didn't want to waste them all.
Do what you want to do.
It's yours. Take it.
They're not a waste. They're a gift from the audience.
Exactly.
That's true. Okay,
They're a gift from the gods.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brave.
Smile upon thee.
All right.
From the Greek chorus, that's the Therosian chorus that is alongside our game.
Out of 4, I can't roll.
Yeah,
darn.
Yeah, 4 definitely doesn't hit. I hate the So
right.
yeah, so you get up, you make this really cool move, you get this roar, you get your strength back, you go to swing and you miss, and then you're like, no, I got this, and you go to swing again and you miss again. You just can't quite do it, and it's okay.
Can I action surge now?
Yeah, I'll let you action surge because your rolls are a gift. They're not a.
But action surge.
Okay.
Callie's like having a moment here.
Yeah, I get it.
That's 12 plus 5.
There we
go.
That's
17.
Yes, you have hit this guy.
Got him.
There we go. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way I see this playing out, I see, like I said, describe it. You go to swing, you miss. You go for it again, you miss, and then you're just like, just a lash on, and you get this big old hit for it. So roll your damage for me.
All right.
Are you attacking with one hand or 2 before you roll your damage?
It's a great.
Yeah.
Right. Shields down, so it's 2-handed.
That's right. Okay, cool.
All right. Woo. So, it's 2d6, even better.
Hey.
Oh, I've been rolling that wrong. Okay.
Oh no.
11 plus 3, so 14 damage.
Yeah, you did some pretty bad damage to this guy. He is not loving what you just did to him. So cool. So I'm actually gonna make him roll a con check to see if he stays on his horse.
Nice.
Now she does it. She goes, "How's this? Dust for brains."
Yeah, and then he conned for 21, so he does manage to stay on his horse. But
okay.
And then he's like, can it organic? And then he
can it organic is nice.
Thank you. And then is that your turn, Callie?
Yeah, that's my turn. I've done everything I can.
Yeah, and then some. And then we roll over to Claw. Claw, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of this guy. I'm gonna look around. I'm assuming that people are like running in fear. They aren't exactly paying attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's a real sense of panic at the undead battle happening on the street. You can definitely safely say that.
Okay, I am going to look around, make sure that no one is exactly like looking at me, and then I'm gonna guiding bolt this guy because I'm done with his chicanery. Sort of summoning the power of the stars in my hands and sort of creating a like a snow globe and then opening it at the returned.
Okay, interesting.
Reroll. There we go. 16 plus 5. 21.
That definitely hits.
And
describe what your guiding bolt looks like. Give me
my guiding bolt looks like a fletched arrow, but instead of being made of metal and wood and twine, it is made entirely of light.
Oh, interesting.
And it takes 4d6. So
Ruben,
11,
I'm not going to make you count all those dice. I'm going to go
damage.
ahead and say that you definitely. How much was it?
11.
Yeah, you killed it. So.
You see Claw like grip an invisible bow and pull an invisible string, and between those two hands, the arrow becomes manifest. And when I loose the string that isn't there, it hits right into the center of the returned.
Yeah, and when you do that, it just blasts him, and it's almost like it's not quite radiant. What kind of damage does Guiding Bolt do?
I believe it is radiant damage.
It is radiant damage? Okay, so yeah, you see it's almost like purifying this undead form and like ripping it apart. And I'll say that it actually goes so far as like burn away its visage, and it actually disappears. It burns and fizzles away because you did so much damage to it.
Nice.
And then you see its mask kind of flip around in the air and then collapse to the ground. And then the horses that they were riding both kind of run away in terror.
Lysandros kind of pops out from behind his hiding space and goes over and kind of like nudges one of the returned bodies that are on the ground and goes, I gotta say, dying once, like, that could be a mistake. I don't recommend it, but dying twice, that just feels sloppy to me, right? Does anyone else think that?
When you kick it, you do hear a little bit of a shake, like a clinking sound.
I will kind of shove it over and go down to search the body.
Okay, yeah, you find a pouch containing 20 silver pieces, which is what the jingling sound you heard was. You find a broken piece of pottery, and so there's a shard that's there, and you also know that you assume the gold masks might be worth something, but you don't know much about them.
Yeah.
And,
look what I found, and he just tosses it over to Claw.
What am I catching?
A broken piece of pottery that that Lysandros found on it. Go ahead and make for me you can make an Arcana or Religion check if you'd like.
Ooh. Religion 19.
Okay. You recognize this as an ostraka. It is a shard from a clay funerary mask, and you know that it is used as currency in the underworld from what you understood about the little you know about returned and stuff like that.
Interesting. I will look at it and say, first of all, Callie, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't be better.
Okay. You don't need me to heal you. You're good.
I mean, I'm feeling about probably half as good as I could be, but I mean.
All right. Well, we'll go and take a breather in a second. Let's clear out the road. Are there any guards around or police?
Real quick, before there are some guards that they are approaching you. They're coming to check it out. But I will say that when you look at the ostraka, there is an inscription on it. A brief note. It's like an order from the commander of these particular returned. And the note says, "Silence the heretic Varius. His secrets must remain dead."
Varius. I will
Varyas.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. I will tell that to my compatriots. And then I will pocket it so that the guards don't see it. Okay. And I will also shove this third guy into my bag of holding. I hope that's the right thing to do.
I'm going to say, because a bag of holding can only hold about 500 pounds. I don't know how so that's 3 bodies that you're putting in the...
No. Only the one guy. Only the guy.
Oh, okay, you said the third guy, so I thought you were saying...
Right. No, we killed the 2. The 2 and their horses...
In there.
The 2 and their horses are fine. I only care about this third guy.
It's fine. You don't even have to do that. It's returned. I'll just tell him it's work.
Okay, I'll just shove him off my back then. I'll just shimmy and then it'll make him fall off my back.
Okay. Yeah,
Callie's so don't worry, it's basically a write-off for me, no problem.
Gotcha.
I mean, how are returned treated in not the underworld typically?
People aren't fans. They're a little bit sketchy about them. Yeah, they typically the returned tend to live. There are cities called necropolises that tend to be where the returned go to.
Right.
They are not extremely welcome in the realms of the living because almost all of the gods would find, like, with the exception of Phoenix, for the most part, most of the gods tend to find the returned as being a little bit of a blight against them, or like a defiance against the will of the gods, because essentially coming back from land of dead is fighting your own destiny and fighting the realm that you're being placed in by the gods. So,
which for somewhat obvious reasons, Phoenix has no problem with.
Yeah.
Since he is basically returned himself.
He's the first returned, essentially. So Lysander, you know from being a follower of Phoenix that Phoenix is known as essentially the first returned, that most returned to escape the underworld are known to follow what is called the path of Phoenix, and that is like their way of getting out of the underworld.
In that case, I'll just shimmy this guy off my back. But this is the heretic, right? This is the important one.
I'm assuming so. They stuck a bunch of arrows in him, so
I don't want the guards like taking him until we get a look at him. So
don't worry, I won't let them.
Well, that's fine. We'll put him in the pile with the returns.
Oh, no. I can hold on to it. It's
okay,
fine.
you got it.
Well, I hate to be a downer, as it were, but it seems like they silenced him pretty successfully, just from what I'm able to observe at the moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there any way we can get it to talk?
There are ways of getting it to talk, and we can also look through. We haven't had a chance to look over the body yet. I'm sure that perhaps there is a message that they're carrying in a spell case or a scroll case or something. I mean, one of the others was carrying this ostraka. I'm sure that this one has something on them.
True. Well, we should probably find a better place to check after
we will skedaddle away from the guards with this body.
Okay, so you're not going to wait to talk to the guards. Okay.
I mean, we can talk to them.
We can.
No, I just wanted to know what to play out. Okay. I'll say the three guards at this point, because you all have talked about it a little bit, so the guards have not had time to approach.
Sure.
And it is two women and a man. They're all human, and they are wearing the very clear armor of Meletian guards. You actually saw some of this armor in the domain of the Gorgon down in Neolanton, but those were very clearly stolen pieces of armor. They had been bloody, they had been damaged. These are nice, these are polished, these are very much like we are representing the glory of the city of Meletis. So
cool.
They are very proud to be here, and they're going. So what's going on here? What's happening here? We got some word there was some stiffs running around here.
Bunch of returns. Just came right on in, so we thought we'd take care of them while we were here.
Hate those guys. Yeah. And then one of the women turns and she's like, yeah, those guys are those are things are no joke. You took them down? You got rid of them?
Easy peasy. It's what I do.
We don't get a whole lot of Leonin around these parts.
Nope.
Well, I guess, yeah.
We keep to ourselves.
You might see some friendly faces in the city. We definitely get, we get all types here, but this area of town tends to be more of the sages and the people who look out for the gods. So not a lot of your friends around here.
We're looking for Lysandros. Who are we looking for?
It was I think Dee called her the boss, I believe.
Let's say let's make an intelligence check.
Because I might know.
Oh, and I think while you're doing that, D is off the side going.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a 17.
Yeah,
don't talk to the guard.
I'm gonna go ahead and remind you that the boss is the leader of a criminal organization, and
you're right.
Maybe don't talk
city
to the
guards
guard
of the city of Meletis.
Would Callie know that?
We are looking for.
I don't know if Callie would know it. I think it's fair that Callie
Strangler.
would know and Claw wouldn't know. I feel like Lysandros would definitely know that he was in an illegal gambling den, and he owes an illegal gambling a very
amazing.
And so D is in the back
owed money by.
We're looking for best place to stay.
Yeah.
Around here.
Yes.
Yeah. D is like, we're looking for the inn to go to.
Definitely not looking for illegal gambling dens. But if you knew
up.
where some were, it would be helpful if you could tell us so that we could avoid them. Because we don't want to be in bad situations like that.
That is true. If you know of a place that is not good to go to, you should tell us about it so that we don't go to it. That makes perfect sense.
Well, I mean, there of course isn't anywhere that's not good to go to in the great city of Meletis. So
of course,
I don't
find guards like you.
Of course, we are very proud of our city, and we do a very good job keeping an eye on it. I mean, normally we would have gotten here to beat these guys before you
of course.
did, but
we thought we'd make your job easier for you.
We very much appreciate that. I mean, we're still gonna have to do the paperwork, and we're probably not gonna mention you in our report.
I'll tell you what, you probably aren't gonna have to do any paperwork if we just take these bodies, right? Like if we just do if we deal with this and make this go away, do you have to do anything?
And the third one just stops and goes, wait a minute. Not gonna do like something weird with these bodies.
No, we're gonna throw them over a cliffside.
Like necromancy or okay.
No, I'm not. That's weird. But I appreciate.
Okay, but you have to admit it's kind of weird. That
I
you just
appreciate
have to take
your
3
concern.
Bodies.
What I'm saying is, we took them down. We can also do the shipping and handling out of town.
I have a god who tends to care about these specific things.
She takes a look at your emblem, and she's just like, "You are a very strange Leonin."
I get that a lot.
I like that it capped me out right when I said that. Claw, I want you to make a persuasion check for me.
Ooh, I am not good at that.
Well, that's okay because you made a pretty bonkers suggestion there, so I think that kind of works out.
13 minus 1 for a 12.
I think the guards look at you and they go,
"Yeah, do you want us to hide some bodies for you?"
I mean, seems like you have something you are looking to do with this, and we're all just trying to do our jobs, and if we do our jobs, we get paid. So you're kind of like threatening our livelihood in a way.
Okay, wait.
Now, if you want to do paperwork, by all means, do paperwork.
Now, and Lysandros pops up and just kind of like, he kind of jumps around and like puts his hands over the shoulders of a couple of the guards and be like, "No, look, I think we've gotten off on the wrong impression. We're just here to make your day a little easier because I know how difficult it can be for somebody who is in your sort of capacity as a town guard to deal with unnecessary people coming into town and killing people and stuff like that. And I want to quietly cast Friend on each of them."
Okay.
Which is that concentration? Let me see.
I don't think so. It's cantrip.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I think it only gives you. I think you can do it to 1. You can't do it.
It is concentration. That's fine. I will pick whoever seems to be the most authoritative of them.
Yeah, I think it's the third woman, the one who kind of waited a bit to pipe up, and she's the one who's like, "Wait, this seems like you're doing some weird stuff with these bodies." So let me.
Right.
So she's the one.
Yeah. So I will. Yeah, I will pick her, and I will cast Friend, and I will just say, "Look, we're just trying to make your job a little easier. We just came into town. We just kind of want some trophies. Look, we're trying to impress some people around town. You know how it works. Trust me, it'll just stop you from having to deal with the paperwork. We'll just go on, make a little bit of a name for ourselves, and then, well, you won't have any problem going forward. In fact, you'll probably never hear of us again."
While he's distracting the guards, I would like to see if I can look at the heretic and see if they're carrying anything, what sort of why on the heretic's person, does there look like there is a thing that would carry notes or something physical that they took out of the underworld? And in lieu of that, I'm just going to snatch their mask.
Allie is holding the heretic.
Oh, well, in that case, never mind.
Well, just because, so Jordan was doing something that was mechanical, so let me let Jordan resolve that. So Jordan, you get to roll a persuasion check with advantage because of your friends.
Yes, I do. Okay, so I rolled a 16 with a +7. That puts that at a 23. And then I also rolled a 14, so 23 is the winner of those.
Okay, so the guard that you've been finagling is kind of like, yeah, I think that we can probably just pretend that this was like a thing that we just didn't know. There's some dirt on the ground. It's fine. And I just think that really it would be really easy for us to look the other way and not deal with.
Now you're speaking my language, and I'll reach down and grab that little purse of silver coins and just toss it to him.
All right. And then she's like, yeah, this feels like we're getting paid for doing our jobs. And then she
very important
looks at
job.
Thank you. We keep this city very safe.
You do.
Yeah. And then as she starts to walk away, she also looks back and she's like, by the way, the Gorgon has many heads and it's easy to find her. And then keeps walking.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
And then
that's less than ideal.
Well, that actually went pretty well. With that little bit at the end there is a little strange, but we should definitely get where they can't find us within, I'd say 40 seconds at this point.
Oh, that's a oddly specific time.
I'm going to probably more like 30 right now.
I mean, now we have horses. Oh no, the horses ran. Okay,
yeah.
we have one horse that I healed.
Horse, and you have person who is part horse.
I'm gonna use like 50 feet of hempen rope to tie these bodies to either myself or our new horse friend and ride to the outskirts of town.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Away from the police.
Okay. And as you ride away, you definitely hear the one guard suddenly going, "Hey, where'd that satyr go?"
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
Nice
and
job,
then you hear them going, someone get a hold of the Gorgon, let them know what's going on. Let them know what's going on.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I don't know what any of that means, so I'm just moving these bodies to a nice secluded area in a copse of trees and laying out these one of the returned was guiding bolted into smithereens, but we have the mask theoretically. Another one was cleft in twain by short bow and claws, and then the heretic was full of arrows.
Yes.
Yeah, the one who was ripped apart is the one that that's the one that Jordan searched. So Lysander found the silver, which he gave away.
Right.
And that's where you found the Ostraka.
Yeah.
So that was the leader. That's all you found on them. You didn't find anything interesting on the one that was destroyed by the radiant fire, and you haven't investigated the third one, the one that you the writer first. Yeah.
So I was gonna start going through that stuff right now to search for whatever may have been on the heretic.
Okay.
Cool.
The only thing, and I'm not going to make you roll for this, Callie, because you are used to dealing with the returned, but the only thing that you're going to find unusual about, there's nothing on him in his possession, and the only thing that you are finding that's interesting to you is that his mask is made of a solid gold instead of the clay that you're used to seeing with your returned.
I can't find anything. There's nothing. There's nothing. No letter. Nothing. It's just this gold mask. They're always clay, but for some reason this is gold, and I don't understand why. Especially if this return was being targeted to be killed.
Weird.
And she'll just tink the gold mask on her head while trying to figure this out.
Oh wait, so have you taken the mask?
Oh, you've taken the mask off?
Yeah, she would have taken it off and been like,
That's an important detail because at that point
she'll pull the mask off and be like, this gold mask.
Okay, if you've looked over, make an investigation check for me, Callie. At advantage, because this is something unusual for you. So.
All right, come on, dice. Be good to me.
Investigate.
Oh, my dice are cursed.
Remember, you have advantage, so.
You know what could help?
I do. I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Guidance.
Of guidance. I mean, she started looking at it before I had a chance to guide her.
That's fine.
That is a 5.
Yikes.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't noticed anything about it. Sorry.
All right. So she's like, this gold mask.
Sorry to make you roll.
Just hand it to me and I'll put it in the bag for later.
Here.
And as I'm putting it in the bag, I'll look at the front and I'll look at the back and I'll just like look at it.
You make an investigation when you look at it, when you flip it over in your hand.
What is my investigation number?
Open
15.
up a new pack of dice.
Okay. You discover that there is writing on the inside of the mask, and it is, for the most part, not in what seems to be a decipherable language immediately to you, but the only thing you can make out that it says on the inside of the mask is a name that is the word. You see the word Kia, Khea.
Khea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And yeah, that's all you actually. Okay. What do you do once you see that? Once you notice that there's like this language on it?
Hey, there's a mostly indecipherable language on the inside of this mask, but I do notice this name, Khea.
Where?
It's followed by, so you see the word
right
Kia,
here.
and then there's line after line of these kind of glyphs that have been cramped. It's like someone furiously tried to inscribe a message on the inside of this.
Give me that.
Inside of this mask. Here you go.
I checked it.
I mean, you definitely did.
Yeah. Well, you just better eyesight.
As you read that, once you have become aware of the text on the inside, and like basically the entire inside of the mask is like scribbled, like crammed in with lines. So it's like just someone used every possible space they could inside this mask to frantically write a message. And as you look at it, suddenly, for a moment, all sounds around you, the three of you pick up on this, turn into whispers. And the color of the world around you drains into shades of gray. Everything except for the gleaming gold of this mask. And that's all that happens for a moment. And then seconds later, it all returns to normal. And everybody except for Lysandros can make a religion check for me.
That's a better dice.
What'd you get?
I am checking my religion. 13.
Okay. What'd you get, Claw?
I didn't want to harsh your mellow if you had the highest one. I had a 18.
Okay. Everybody gets this. Lysandros, you get this because you don't need to roll for this because you are a follower. Everyone, this is very clearly an omen, a sign from the god Phoenix himself. And Lysandros, you now are able to, it's like your brain decodes part of the language, not all of it, but you are able to read the phrase, "Hid from the eyes of mortals and gods lies wither in Orestes' rot." You see that, you see the name Kia, and that is all that you are able to determine at this point.
So everybody was able to read that?
Only you were able to read those words. Everybody experienced the vision. So you all suddenly had this vision, this sign from Phoenix. Like once you discovered this message was there, and then Lysandros, you being a follower of Phoenix, you were able to decode that.
That's certainly an interesting message. And I read it off to them. Does that mean anything to either of you?
Sure doesn't.
No. But this person was a heretic of the underworld.
Or a Phoenix. I mean.
Or a Phoenix.
I mean, in my experience, and I will admit I don't have all that much experience. He doesn't necessarily write nice codes on the back of the mass of people he dislikes, but there definitely is something that he's trying to express. The fact that he put it in, whatever language this is, it just seems to make sense to me. Makes me think that Well, it's only something that, tricksters or other returned or people who are followers of Phoenix are even supposed to know what's going on here.
Right. It's not Celestial, right? Because I can read Celestial.
I
Not
can
Celestial.
too.
Okay.
It is not. It doesn't seem decipher. It doesn't seem like a language you've ever seen before or you understand.
Well,
like even it doesn't even seem like a language you've seen where you're like, I don't know what this I know, like if I saw Russian words written out, I would know it was Russian even though I don't speak Russian. It doesn't even seem like that to you.
All I know is that my job was to find a returned who had a message only a follower of Phoenix could decipher. You're a follower of Phoenix, and you've deciphered a message. My job here is done. Let's find a bar and get a drink.
I like the way you think. Revelry is always in fashion. But should we figure out what this means exactly, though?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I mean, this is sort of a checkpoint that has been reached. But
it's God stuff. Who cares?
The gods care, and therefore I care.
Well, no, Callie makes a very strong point here, Claw. Who cares? And all I'm saying is that if perhaps this is something important that we've got to do, well, last time we found out the important stuff to happen, we were drinking at a bar, right? So
you're not wrong. I say that we can go to a bar and still ask about this KHEA word, maybe figure out if it's a place or a person or a verb or something while we drink.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me. And I mean, I could, and he takes his dice out and kind of throws them around. It's like, I've got some prayers to do.
I'm sure you do.
I'll say that because this is kind of the entryway into a town, there is definitely a couple of tavernas that are in the area that are welcoming for weary travelers. There are always certainly people looking to make money off of tourists. So no matter what era, no matter what area of the world. So yeah, there are a couple of nice places to go to. So if you are looking for the like a nice taverna, as they would say, you found one.
Wonderful.
Could you tell me again what the mask said exactly?
Absolutely. The mask, so the name Kia was on a line. You don't really know what that was referring to because it's like around some other scribbles. However, the line that you were able to see and nobody else can read but you says, hid from the eyes of mortals and gods lies wither in Orestes' rot.
Orestes' rot.
Orestes. Orestes' rot.
Did you tell us that or not?
Oh, I read the entire thing to you guys.
Do I know what Orestes is?
I don't think you do. No.
Okay.
So what do you all do? And also I would say that you probably at this point are aware that the guards are probably going to come looking for you again because that one guard is now mad at Lysandros. So
yeah.
True.
So
not to hurry you as players along, but that is definitely a thing that is an effect of the Friends cantrip. So
right.
I know what I'm doing. I definitely took it mostly for the downside.
Right.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I really want to know what KHEA means, but on the other hand, I assume this place has lots of stairs and cobblestones, which don't really agree with my hooves.
I would say I would say that because this is not. You're on the outskirts still. You have not entered the city of Meletis yet. You are there. You are still because you were on the road into town when you guys rode away from the city to look at this stuff. You said you're going back towards the outskirts.
Yeah.
So.
In that case, we should go around to another entrance and then go into the city.
I'm down to do that.
Okay.
Why? Because we're worried about guards?
No, the 3 specific guards that work in this precinct.
Oh.
Like, no one else is going to care about us.
Please, that shouldn't be a problem. Lysandros will just... Lysandros makes note of just someone on the street and just assures them, I mean, if you want to go the long way around, then do what you have to, but I can handle myself when it comes to not being noticed by guards who have decided that I'm their enemy.
Yeah, I'm slightly more obvious.
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't see a lot of Leonins
around these parts,
especially ones with a signet of Erebos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I can't do much about you people and your very obvious looks. In fact, I try to look obvious, so that way I can make myself look less obvious, and I like disappear. It's a nice little trick.
We'll walk to another entrance to this small, or no, this is the big city. So we'll walk to somewhere else, far enough that the different guards are there.
Okay, I'll say that you were kind of at the south entrance of the city. And I'll say that the next area you would probably go to from here, if you're looking for a visible queue. So if you're at the south, if you look at a picture of the like landmass of Theros, like the map, that's another way to describe a picture of a landmass. If you look at the map of Theros, as best as it can be, you know that Theros is constantly changing. You, especially someone who travels the land of Theros, knows that maps of Theros are more in theory than they are accurate. Yeah. But you know that with Meletis, your next best bet of a place to get into the city is by going further to the east, because it is a harbor town, and there's Neo-Lantan was at the tip of a peninsula.
Yeah.
And Meletis is kind of at the top of that peninsula, and it has an eastern harbor that faces in. So if you think of like the Gulf of California, where there's that little bit that comes up underneath the Baja Peninsula, it's kind of like that. It's that little bit of that going on there. And so that's like where people come into the bay. And when you get to this area, it is normally a pretty bustling seaside marketplace kind of area. There are lots of ships of people coming in for trade. You see a lot of Tritons working the docks and bringing stuff in, helping stuff out. And you do see a few Leonin, you see some satyrs, you see even a couple of centaur. There are a few centaur who have found their home in Meletis. And yeah, it is getting close to nightfall, because the sun was already setting when you arrived in town.
Yeah.
So I would say it takes you probably about 20 to 30 minutes to get to another entrance area. And that's it. And Callie, did you have something you wanted to do?
Yeah, Callie, before they head off to the next gate, she's going to make contact with her Erebos contact, Lieutenant I forgot his name. Macreus.
Okay. I'm curious from your point of view. I want to hear how you think that Callie reaches out to Macreus.
I was curious too, because Callie hasn't figured that out. Callie, I'm gonna say that because they work in very odd ways, somehow Macreus just knows when the job is done. And I'm going to assume it's she kind of just taps on this until it annoys Macreus.
You can just send out little pulses of boop, boop, boop.
Hello.
The Erebos signal.
Okay, I can work with that. I know what I can do. Okay, so as you're wandering through, first of all, she's
gonna be I'll be right back. I need to take care of business, and she's gonna kind of walk out with the body. She'll see her drag the two of them out behind her.
Okay.
And walk out to the back of wherever she's at.
Are you doing this before you all head towards the other entrance, or are you doing it after?
Before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably before.
I will say that. Ooh. Okay. There is. So as you are wandering, as you're on your own, you're wandering, and you come across the body of a dead bird that is on the ground. And as you're kind of communing with your god, you as you're kind of communing with your kind of middleman, the bird, its neck kind of turns and it looks at you and it goes, why are you bothering me?
I was wondering when you'd show up. So you
I
found
was
a
wondering
body.
when you finished the job. So
I'm finished now. Okay, are you happy? Look, I even got another one for you. I got two. You asked for one. I got two. Do I get a gold star? No, I don't. But you get two. Did
you figure out what the message meant?
I relay the message.
Yeah, it's not the question that I asked you, because that's half a message. It's not even half. It's 10% of a message.
I was told to translate. I wasn't told to decipher. Oh, I was told to decipher, wasn't I? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, translate, decipher. You're really arguing semantics, and you understand we both work for a god, and they're not tend to be big fans of semantics as like a way. I mean, actually, gods love semantics.
My god loves semantics.
Yeah. Gods love semantics on their end. They're not as big of fans on your end.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, the boss, there's something going on with this guy. This returns you found.
Yeah,
And
they killed it.
For some reason, the boss is real interested in him. And I think it has something to do with him and the Phoenix guy. So how about you finish the job instead of bugging me while I'm just trying to go about my own business?
All right. Well, what do you want with these returned? Where do you want me to dump the bodies?
I mean, it's dead.
So
I don't
you can
care
take
anymore.
them.
It's dead. I mean, he's bad. It's gone. You took care of it.
Yeah, I guess.
And like as you say that, like you see like this I don't want. It's weird. It's radiant, but it's like a death radiance because it's airboats. You kind of see the body kind of like get consumed and disappear, but you still have the mask in your hand.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, I was just wondering when that would happen. I wasn't sure.
Oh, I'm sorry that I wasn't on your schedule. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I answered to you.
I'm gonna go finish my job now.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting on that.
Bye.
And then the bird, like, its head twists back, and then it just goes back down to the ground and lays back down again.
Nice.
She'll walk back in.
Okay, so now, yeah, y'all have headed over to. I'll say that as you are making your way around to the marketplace area, it's
my way around.
Yeah, you find a fisherman's bar, like a tavern, because this is a port city, and there are definitely plenty of centaurs and ministers who come there. There's not a huge stair problem. You're okay on that. And as you walk in, there is, it's the end of a work day, and let's just say that the people who are working there are finding themselves caught up in a little bit of revelry, and they are raising a glass in toasts. Because we have a few toasts that we have not yet resolved. And so we're going to go ahead and resolve some of those toasts. They're all kind of thinking about their day, their travels, their trips. And one of them named Toa47 says, "A new world, a new toast. May the gods give us jam for this toast."
Yeah.
We have there.
And
then one of them, who recognizes Lysandros from many a gambling game, because Lysandros is pretty well known, says, "The good berries are bad from more than Lysandros' waistline. A hearty get well soon to our missing player," which is very sweet. Thank you. So regards to our friend D. Our friend Jake, in the middle of making an amazing lineup of charcuterie, has also said, "Augury, divination through the study of the flight of birds. May you all be carried by the wings of victory and not fly too high and be punished for your hubris."
Yeah.
Icarus nod there. Thank you, Jake. And then our friend Yanto7 says, "Tonight we learned it's really hard to hide a centaur. I also imagine Lysandros is already taking bets on who will be the first party member who gets to ride Claw. Just remember to always ask consent, kids. Much love to."
That's right.
Thank you
all
so
much.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank
for
you
your
guys.
toasts. And I should let y'all know that we did get a story unlock from the chat. So I am looking forward to an opportunity tonight to play that. But the person that is unlocking has not yet been found, so I may have to do a little stinger at the end for that.
Sure.
But, we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So on my way over to the bar, I want to be looking for like thorned plants because I cast Spike Growth and Thorn Whip. So I'm running low on thorns for material components. And if there's mistletoe along the way, I'll pick that up too because I like to
try to get some kisses.
Druidcraft.
And because it's the season. I would say because you're kind of around like a pretty civilized space, you're not finding those things growing naturally.
Yeah.
If you want to actually, you know what, make a nature check for me, and based on your nature, I'll say if anyone has these things growing in a garden or a decorative plant area.
14.
You can pick one of those two things and you find them, but to get the other one, you have to buy a spell component account.
I mean, I'll get some sprigs of mistletoe just to have.
Okay. Yeah. So Lysandros, keep those lips ready. All right. All right. So
we're at the bar.
You are at a bar. It is a rowdy place. You have heard a series of toasts that seem strangely specifically about your group, which is happening to you a lot lately. But it was very wonderful. And now, what do you do?
Are you not curious about these 4 letters on this mask?
Well, during my walk, I thought about it, and I kind of am. I wanna decipher what this all means.
I'll
I
admit,
feel like you may have been right.
I'm a little curious as to what's going on here too. Frankly, all of this happening right around the same time that I had my bit of a windfall, it makes me think there's something up. And when there's something up, if you don't pay enough attention and figure out what exactly is up, well, bad things can happen to you. So,
well,
maybe figuring out what's going on with this will solve some of my other problems.
Plus, there's more scribbles on it, and we haven't figured out all this, whatever it is. So,
yeah, maybe we should look for a linguistics expert. In addition to, I mean, we can ask around if anybody knows we shouldn't show the mask to people. That's going to freak people out.
And
I'm just going
on intuition on this, but my impression, being able to read the part of it that I could, is, see, I saw it and I understood it, but I still wouldn't say I was really able to read it exactly. So maybe the way to understand what's going on in the rest of it is something similar. We have to find the right people, find whoever's connected to this thing. Maybe this Kia or whatever is mentioned there.
And we heard the name of the heretic, right?
Yeah, it was Various.
So my initial thought was like, this was, your name written on the inside of your boxer shorts when you go to summer camp. Like, it would have been Kia's mask that Various is wearing or something like that. But in any case,
another returns mask.
I don't know. But
that sounds
disgusting. We know who the heretic was. We know that was Various. We don't know who or what a Kia is. Khea.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like the kind of thing that requires asking other people questions, which I hate.
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate. I feel like I know what D would do here, but I feel like me doing it is railroading as a DM. So I
shouting at the top of her lungs. Hey,
yes.
Does anyone here know who Kia is? Yeah, I'll say that's what D would do here.
Okay, I will say that is absolutely what D did, and everyone's kind of like why is this woman shouting at us?
Right.
And
same.
I'm gonna look up. I don't actually have her character sheet open here, so I
can take a look.
Yeah, just go ahead and take a look, and go ahead and make a present, like a
performance.
Not performance. I guess either persuasion or intimidation, because she's kind of shouting it in a bar to get attention. So.
And just to confirm, are we in Meletis now, or are we in the South or Eastern Gate Tavern?
You're kind of at a gate tavern, kind of like imagine a city that has this huge harbor area, this kind of like marketplace on the outskirts of the town. Not unlike, the best I can think is almost like if you're in LA and you're in like Venice or Santa Monica, where you're on like this area, or like Long Beach.
Greater Meletis metropolitan area.
Sure.
We're on the boardwalk.
You haven't really. You're outside the city gates. Because there's kind of like
this is like the valley.
Look, when people
the valley was attached to the ocean.
When people are traveling and they're from here, they'll tell you they're from Meletis. But if they meet someone else who's from Meletis, they'll clarify.
You're not really from Meletis.
The way to think of it is like you're outside the city gates because so many people are coming in from out of area that like the city would like to check people out before they get all the way into the city. So it's kind of like this like staging area.
I did use a reroll for D. And I got a 13 total.
Okay, I will say that she gets the attention of somebody, and just for the sake of time, I'll say that y'all are talking amongst each other, trying to figure stuff out. A lot of time passes in the bar, but the crowds kind of wind down, and then once there's a little bit less hubbub and like less attention being drawn to you, a gentleman comes by. And he sets an empty glass of like whatever he was drinking, some sort of like a wine, like a wine horn or whatever, down, and he just goes. He kind of like motions to the empty glass, and like looks at it, and kind of like just like he's making a big production of the fact that his glass is empty, and then he's like,
"Right,
I might know a thing or two about Kia, if that's what y'all are interested in, but." I don't know personally what that would be. what the solution to that problem would be. And he just like sets his glass down again and waits.
Can I look for someone who's not paying enough attention to their glass and just swipe it and then pour it into his cup?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check for me because I love that.
I like that.
With advantage because I like it. It's a good move.
Hooray.
I feel like this is something Lysandros is pretty used to doing.
That's great because Callie's eyes just like flared in rage.
That's a dirty 20.
All right.
Because I get +7 on sleight of hand.
Nice.
You were able to get like a full, because like someone ordered, like they had like another one ready to go and they've been drinking and you just got it. And you did just a good pull that you were able to pour some for him and you have enough left over for yourself to take a little bit too.
Love that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Funny how that works out, you know?
Sure
The
is.
gods sure are generous. And he takes a sip of it and he's like, anyway, yeah, I know who Kia is. She's like a, I don't know, oracle, sage. I don't know. One of those people who talks a lot, does a lot of philosophizing. I'm not a big fan myself, but yeah, she's got a spot up on the hill, and he kind of points to an area that is further outside of town, but like on a little bit of like an overlook, kind of like overlooks the ocean area, and it's a pretty nice little. It's like a villa essentially, and yeah, he's like, I don't think she's gonna let you in tonight. It's kind of late. Be rude. But yeah, that's Kia. She's like a weirdo. Talks to gods and stuff.
I mean, are we in a rush, or do we want to? I mean, I don't really care if we see her tonight, I suppose. But thank you,
like, well,
sir.
Yeah, good luck to you. And he gets up and walks away because he's like a big old. He basically got himself a free drink for like naming someone who's pretty well known in the town. So
Sure.
Yeah. As he walks away, I just snarl.
So
he sees you do it, and he's like, hey, and then it's like the fact that his drink.
I said that I don't care. And then I realized that they were chasing a heretic. So maybe time is important here.
What did the message say again, Lysandros?
Why, it said...
Sorry.
I have it written down. I have it written
mortals
down.
and gods lies wither and Orestes is rot.
Right.
Says Lysandros.
I have it written down. Let me
And
get
where
it.
did it say Kia's name in that?
Inside the mask
line.
is inside the mask.
Yeah, it's like within another line of text that otherwise was indecipherable.
Oh. Well, if we think this mask may have been taken from Kia, it might be good to pay them a visit tonight.
Yeah.
Did they say her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has like a cottage or something up on that hill.
It might be worth paying her a visit tonight just to make sure.
Sure.
Well, I've got nothing else to do.
All right.
I mean,
Gives me some more chance to pick some herbs that I might need for later.
Wonderful.
Great.
Nice sleight of hand, by the way.
Yeah, that was. Wait, what's like?
Wait, no, we didn't see it. Never mind. We didn't see shit.
Oh. please.
Thanks for taking care of that nuisance.
Yeah,
of
that was
a
great.
greedy-
Oh, don't worry about it.
useless-
Their wine is my wine. That's the real joy of a good revel. You know, everybody drinks, right? It would be less fun if only the people who paid for their drinks were drinking, right?
Hey, Lysandros. Just so you're aware, my saddlebags have a lot of stuff in them. Like more. First of all, this is like a two-part thing I'm going to tell you. First of all, they're like magical saddlebags. They can hold
fun.
more than they look like.
All right.
And the second part is, don't steal from me, please. That would be not very nice of you.
Look, Claw, you don't know me very well, so I'm going to let that pass, but I'm not one who really goes into possessing things, you know? Like,
Oh,
if
okay.
I take things that to have, that's just not really my style.
I understand.
You see, things hold you down. Things are the sort of things that people stay in one place long enough to end up getting killed over. And that's not the kind of thing I like to burden myself with.
That's fair.
So it's more likely that I will pawn things off in your bag so that if somebody searches me, they don't find it.
Somehow that's more concerning.
I think it probably should be, yes.
But
But
okay.
for now, everything is fine.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's weird, and you're weird, and we're gonna go see this lady on the hill now.
Completely fair.
Okay. I will say it takes you about 10, 15 minutes to get up to the hill because there's a street, there's a road that's easy to get up to. It's not like a climb or anything like that. It's a neighborhood essentially. And you get up to it and you find this very nice villa that is overlooking the water. There is ivy that is all over the sides of the building. It's very well grown and established, and you can tell whoever's been here has probably been here for a long time and allowed this foliage to grow.
I'm gonna ask her if I can pick some ivy, but who wants to? I'm not gonna knock on the door.
It's my job. I'll handle it. But as we approach, we should probably be careful just in case. And
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and look around a little bit, just because I was a hunter and everything. I'm gonna try to probably approach a little more carefully and see if anything looks off.
Okay. How are you doing that? What is your method of approaching carefully and closely?
So I'm gonna look ahead of me, see if anything looks disturbed in an odd way, not a general off the beaten path. Is there like tracks in the grass? Maybe does it look like something was not on the path that went through here? Things look off, like herbs trampled on, or anything like that.
I want you to make an investigation check for me.
Survival. All right. 10.
Okay. It seems like everything's in order as much as it can be. What you immediately notice and is pretty apparent is that there are a lot of just random cats roaming around this area. And so it's a little hard to know if things are disturbed by anyone like trampling through or just that like cats do what cats do. And that's kind of a thing.
Okay. All right. Let's head in.
Okay. You approach I assume like the front kind of door of it?
Yeah, doorway.
Okay. Do you just open it or do you knock or how do you try to get in?
I'll knock. Is there a door? Is it a curtain, archway?
There's like an archway. I think there's like a gate almost, less than like a door, because there's not a whole lot of like heavy doors in this region, but there's definitely a gateway that can be shuttered or locked in a way that someone couldn't just walk on it if they wanted to. Yeah.
And a door that can be knocked upon. Yes?
I think the gate could be knocked upon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you could just do like a hello or whatever you want, however you want to do it. I'm letting you as characters decide how you're approaching this.
Hello. Is it too late? It too late for
you hear a voice go, wait, too late. And then you kind of hear someone muttering as she walks to the door, and approaching you is a pretty beautiful figure. And she has this strange timelessness to her look. She still looks pretty young physically, but she has long flowing hair that has grayed a lot over time. Yet her face is still very young, and her features are surprisingly very like delicate and very like almost like porcelain or fayish, or it's just she's very attractive, almost inhumanly so, but she looks like she's a human. She just has these very striking looks, and yeah, very young, but with long grayer hair. And she's like, I'm sorry. Can I help you?
Is her name Kaya?
Yeah. Khea.
Kia.
Yes.
Hi. We were looking for you to see if you were looking for a mask.
Why would I be looking for a mask?
I don't know if you would. Did you lose a mask?
Or lose a friend recently who would then maybe come back and bring you a message on the back of a mask?
Oh, not that I'm aware of. I'm sorry, this is a very strange conversation, and you're on my doorstep, and I feel like I'm missing something, and I would like to maybe be explained to.
Could we come in?
No, it's late. I'm done with the day. I've given my oracles out for the day, my visions, I have my set hours. If you want to talk to me, you can come back tomorrow morning.
What are your hours?
Well, the sun should be up at least.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. Maybe we are a little worried that there are people who are trying to perhaps kill you or stop this message from getting maybe to you, because it was written on this thing that we found, and that thing was on the face of someone who someone else killed.
Yeah.
She puts her hand up as you're talking, and like you keep talking, but she has put her hand up to stop you, but you keep talking over it. And then she's finally like, "Is he keep going? Is this how this works? I don't understand."
Yeah,
Pretty much,
talks.
What did you say about my name written on something?
I'm gonna tap Lysandros and say, "You're doing great," and give him guidance.
Thank you. Well, so we found a returned. Well, I wouldn't say we found a return. The return. What were you saying?
And she sees you doing that, and she goes like, "How about we just have a little bit of candor here?" So he seemed to be saying something important, and you want to silence him, but you also want information from me. So let's just be on the level here. You said that my name was written on something.
Yes,
and returned my name. Let's take those details. Let's move forward.
Yes. So a returned showed up and died. Other returned killed it. We killed those returned, and we took their stuff, as you do when a bunch of dead people happen around you. And on the back of the mask was words that nobody could read except me, because because of God stuff. You know how it works. And also your name, which everybody could read.
Let me see this mask. And she reaches out through the bars, like there's enough room for her to reach out. So she's like, "I would like to see this, please."
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not open right now, so I guess we'll have to come back tomorrow.
Okay, great. So have a good night. And she turns and walks away.
Wait.
That went well.
What was the return's name again? Arios?
Varius.
Varius?
Varyas.
Varius? It's a shame Varius went through all that trouble.
That name. Fine. And she walks over and she like begrudgingly opens the gate and lets you into the house. And she leads you into like a sitting room. There's lots of cushions on the floor to sit on. She has just set herself up a bit of a meal for herself for dinner. It is very similar to the delicious meal that Jake described last week. There's like some bread, there's some cheese, and yes.
How big is the house?
It's fairly big, but it's also strangely cramped for how big it is in the space. There's room for you. There's definitely room for you.
I'll turn into a mastiff.
Okay. I would say like it kind of opens up into a courtyard that overlooks the water. So if you'd be more comfortable going there, you're welcome to do that. If you don't want to waste your wild shape, it's up to you.
I'll just be a dog for this scene. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. So she leads you in, and this house, Woof. It's strangely cramped, but the reason why it's cramped is there are these just stacks of papers and scrolls everywhere that are like these histories and these like writings that are written in various languages, and it's like obviously like she's poring over them and stuff like that. There's like a little ritual area where you can tell that she does some sort of communing with at least one deity, if not more. And then there's also an area that is set up with all of these like what's I'm looking for, like curtains and decorations. And you can tell that this woman does at least some work as like a fortune teller, essentially. And that is the room that she normally leads her like customers into to like read their tarot cards or whatever. And she's not taking you into that room. She takes you to like more of her main area. And you seem to have really sparked her interest with this mask. So she takes it and she looks at it, and or it's up to you if you offer it. But.
We need help deciphering this mask. Would you be willing to help us?
Yes, you have piqued you said my name is written on this mask.
Yes, a return named Varius.
When I turned into a dog, I will leave the Ostraka and like have it in my mouth and present it. At that
Can
point.
you not talk when you're transformed, by the way?
Nope,
or
sure can't.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Okay.
Thank you, Claw.
Yeah. Well, I know the name Varius, but he's been dead for a very long time, like longer than I think you would expect to know.
How long?
He was a pretty rabble-rousing oracle. He was devoted to Phoenix, but he died a very long time ago. We didn't get along. He wrote a comedy that I didn't find very good, and I gave it a pretty bad review. He did not care for me.
Well, I've got bad news. He also died pretty recently. So.
Yes, return. You know what? That is so like Various to be that petty, even in death, to come after me again just because I didn't like his play.
Well, good news. He wrote about you, possibly. And other return called him a heretic and killed him. And they might be coming for you. So here's the mask. Please let us know what it says.
So she takes it and she looks it over and she's examining it and she's analyzing it. And she starts to say, without you telling her, the same phrase that you were able to decipher earlier. She's like reading a line and she says, "Hid from the eyes of mortals and gods lies wither in Orestes' rot." Okay, I can understand this line, but the rest of it...
We already got that part.
Yes, that text is purposefully direct. This is a pay on... This line is from an oath to Phoenix. But the rest of it, it's a cipher, but it's not a complete cipher. So there's letters that are removed from it in some pattern that I can't detect. And even magically, I don't think that I could just decode it, because it's not a message that's meaningful the way that it's written. So I can't tell you more about this cipher, but I do know what Orestes is, if that would help you.
I mean, it's more than nothing.
Yeah, all ears.
Well, the court of Orestes was one of the early followers of Phoenix, and the court of Orestes is his legendary tomb. And he was a, how do I put this? He was like a thief, a con artist. Look, Phoenix's followers are who they are. I'm not one to judge, but he would foresee living beings and know that they would become returned. He kind of had a knack for that. But according to legend, the site held something known as Phoenix's silence, though I don't know what that actually is. Then she's like, as she's saying this, she's like digging through piles of things that are written in various local languages and these like keys, and she's like, yes, I don't know what Phoenix's silence is, but I know that all I can say is that I think that what you're looking for is probably in that tomb at the court of Orestes.
Tomb at the court of Orestes. Okay. Where might that be?
I have no idea. The actual location is lost. It's actually, and then she like pulls out a map and she's looking over the map of Theros and she's like,
Claw, you like maps?
And she pulls out
I'll
like
put paws up on the table and look at the map.
Yeah, and she pulls out a map and she like digs through a book and she's like, okay, I believe it is somewhere along the Kistonos River. The river itself is about, I believe it's about 3 days travel from here. Sorry, I have to look and see which direction it is. And according to the map. It's not actually on the map here, I think. So yeah, it's about 3 days travel from here. And I'm sure it is somewhere. I'm not going to spend game time looking for it.
You can tell us later.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's 3 days travel from here. So in theory, things always seem to take a little longer or shorter in Theros, as I'm sure you're aware. But yes, I have heard that there was an earthquake recently, and that earthquake dammed the river. And there has been, the region itself has been a little bit parched for a while, and I know that, and she like kind of like starts digging through more stuff, and she's like, yes, there was there was talk of ruins that were unearthed during that, and she like digs through and she finds and you see like this like report of what's like this like text that is written out and things that are written down as if somebody's like indicating things, and she's like yes, and she's like that might be that's what I think you should do. I think you should take this mask and you should head to the Custonos River and try to find the Court of Orestes.
And that would maybe help us finish this cipher, you think?
That's the only that I can't say that for certain, but what I can say is that the only thing I can figure out is what's written there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it seems like the best thing we have to go on. I mean, the way that these god puzzles work, usually if you go on the information that you have and try and work forward, well, hopefully something else makes itself clear to you eventually.
Yes. I have a question. Do you think you're going to go to the Court of Orestes?
I mean,
Big
I don't
Mastiff
really have
nod.
a choice.
Big Mastiff nod.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a little bit of a hobbyist, and I like to collect information. And if I could be so bold, if you do go, if you could take like some rubbings of some artifacts, if anything really interesting pops up, I would gladly pay you all at least 200 each to give me some information.
We'll grab whatever we can for you.
Pass.
Okay, well,
you can pay. I tell you what,
D's like, I'll take his, so you
Right.
can go ahead and pay. I'll take whatever he offers.
I mean, I'm fine with going just for the information. I've been basically everywhere around here, so somewhere new. Well, that sounds fun.
All right. Well, I believe that's all that I can offer you tonight. I apologize for my standoffishness earlier. It was late and I was at the end of my day, but this is worth my time, so I appreciate your information.
It's no problem at all. Can you do us one more favor, though?
What is
Just
that?
one. Can you please write down somewhere this cipher? Because I cannot read this for the life of me, and will never be able to.
I mean, I don't know the answer to the cipher, so I can't write it down, but I can. So she
write down what you see.
She takes one of her like blank papers and does like a rubbing of the inside of the mask so that it's like on paper, it's a little bit easier and clearer to read.
Okay, sure. We'll take it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
she wasn't able to actually decode any of the cipher except for like when you told her about Orestes, that's what clicked in her head.
Got it. And be careful. There, like I said, there are return running around, and
I think I can handle myself around a couple of returns, but thank you.
Seriously. I mean, how scary could they be, right? They obviously weren't good enough at staying alive to have managed it in the first place. So,
well,
I mean, I'm more afraid of regular people.
I mean, they did drag themselves out of hell, so I would be a little bit
all right,
afraid.
Fair.
I know a little bit about that myself. So, are you quite done, or is there anything else that I can help you with tonight?
I believe we're done. I don't think we have anything else that we need.
Great. Well, thank
the
you.
Mastiff, the Mastiff will head to the door and like ask to be let out, and then once he does, I'll turn back into a centaur and say, "I apologize, but like, could I get some of these excellent dried herbs and maybe pick some of the ivy and any of the other things to help refurbish my components or my medicine pack?"
Sure, you're welcome to do that. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate you not just taking them like a ruffian.
I listen. All things, take only what is given.
Thank you. There is a tavern down lower in the hill. They do have an inn if you are looking for a place to stay for the night, or if you go that way, and she points towards like where she had indicated that the river was. There is also an inn that way. So if you're looking for a place to sleep, I would offer you a place to stay in my home, but it's not really a place for guests.
No, and too many cats.
And I value my privacy.
As do I, so I
completely
understand.
Well, thank you for valuing my privacy. I appreciate that. And yeah, so she kind of like, she goes, but again, if you bring me any etchings from the Court of Orestes, I will gladly pay them for them.
Excellent.
And
etchings.
Yeah. And I think that for y'all, we will end there. So you head your way out of her. Do you want to do anything at the end of this? Because we are at 10 o'clock. So
Right.
I have a thing I have to resolve for listener unlocks or for viewer unlocks. But
do we want to stay in town or on the way?
I mean, I'm fine with going to the tavern that's closest, but I know you will have stuff to do in town eventually when Dee gets back.
It's pretty late. So. It's pretty late. We'll take the one that's close by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Lysandros is just down to find the first place that he can find wine to, help him sleep.
Right.
Okay.
I can also make you some chamomile tea if that'll help you. No? Okay.
Okay. I think she probably made herself a copy of the cipher as well that she did for you. Like, I'm gonna say that you saw her do that, so this isn't like a thing. So as you leave and you go find yourself some lodging, and I think Dee probably stays up later than the rest of you, drinking some more, or maybe not later than Lysandros. I have no idea how you handle yourself, but as you walk away, and as she recloses and locks her gate, she heads back through the room that had the curtains that are set up for the viewers and then for her customers essentially, and she heads into another little corridor and into a small room that is kind of hidden away, and none of you notice that it was there, and most of her customers don't as well. And she sits down in front of a statue of what appears to be a woman with lots of flowing gray hair, and there's gray hair over her eyes and a red marking down her face, and this woman has a set of horns, and she has this long flowing hair, and she has this gold kind of like draping over her. And for those who are magic followers, this is Clothis, the god of destiny, and she looks at this altar and she says, "My goddess, they have finally arrived, and hopefully their quest will prove to be fruitful." And then she brushes her hair back, and her thick gray hair pulls back to reveal a pair of pointy elvish ears. And as she leans back in her chair, a black cat hops up into her lap, and she gives it a pet. And that is where we will end tonight's game.
Hey, neat.
Oh.
And that last little bit was unlocked thanks to chat. If we had not had that unlocked, it would have ended with y'all heading down to a tavern. And I love that we got to have that moment, because that is a thing that I've been excited about when I realized that I could make that happen. So I was very excited.
No wonder there were so many cats.
Right.
Yeah.
My gosh.
And y'all, thank you so much for playing with me tonight. We want to wish a very lovely get well to our friend Danielle.
Yes.
Let's go around the horn first, and let us go ahead and say I don't think anything else unlocked that rolls over to next week. So let's go ahead, and Ruben, why don't you say your goodbyes to the nice people?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm the internet's Ruben Bressler. You can follow me everywhere at MOXREUBY. That's Mox Ruby. You can see me, of course, here on Mondays for Dice Ex Machina, but you can also catch me on Magic Mics, MAGICMICS, the weekly news talk show in Magic the Gathering news. You can follow all of our escapades at coolstuffinc.com or at Magic Mike's Cast on Twitter.
All right, thank you, Ruben. And Ashlyn, why don't you tell us where people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ashlyn Rose. You can find me on Instagram as rar. It's Ashlyn, or you can check out my voiceovers at my website ashlynrose.com.
And Jordan, where can we find you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon. You can find me on Twitter at Jordan Pigeon. And also, usually here on Saving Throw, we are between seasons on Wildcards, our Savage Worlds show. But go and check out the stuff on YouTube. It's all there. And then probably sometime next year, we'll be starting up with season 2 of our Nightlingers Traveling Carnival of the Extraordinary season of Wildcards, which has been very fun so far.
And you can find me on Twitter. I am Riley Silverman. You can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman and Instagram at Riley Silverman. You can find my writing on Nerdist. And we just released a special of my Doctor Who tabletop role-playing game podcast, The Game of Rassilon. We did a Doctor Who Day special. It was a multi-Doctor story. It was very fun, and I'm very excited about it. And also, we want to go ahead and talk about how there are so many amazing, awesome shows here on the Saving Throw channel. Like we just mentioned, Jordan just talked about the Wild Card show. And tomorrow night, we are still continuing the special mini games of the Salt Bay Tales of Salt Bay, which is the Good Society. It is a diceless Jane Austen RPG that is DM'd by Vanna, right? Yeah. So that is an awesome thing to check out. So that is at 8 p.m. tomorrow night on the Saving Throw channel. As always, of course, we want to thank our benevolent overlord, Dom Zook, and our producer, Gaurav Gulati. Thank you all for joining us. And hey, it's the holiday season. Go ahead and support those independent artists and creators in your life and help some small businesses that are struggling right now. And, it's a good time of year to buy gifts and give back. And there's a lot of people who could use your money. So let's go ahead and support all of them. And we love you. Thank you guys so much and have a safe and happy holiday season. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.